Happening now, Greensboro investigators are now chasing down leads in a shooting at a motel that left 2 people hurt. Those officers responded to a shots fired call there at the Red Carpet Inn on Eisler Street. When they got there, they found 2 people with gunshot wounds. We've been told that EMS took both of the victims to the hospital. There's been no word on their conditions at this afternoon. In Randolph County, 2 people are now facing charges after multiple malnourished dogs were found at a home. Deputies arrested Joseph Jones and Charity Wall. Investigators were called to a home there on Searcy Road Extension on July 12th about the aggressive dogs. Animal control officers found 2 dead dogs and several other dogs who were malnourished outside of the property. When the homeowner allowed deputies inside, they found a mother dog and puppies. 2 of the puppies were dead. Jones and Wall are now each facing 9 counts of felony cruelty to animals. Davie County Animal Services is now working to help 11 horses that they say have been neglected.
We could see ribs, we could see hip bones, we could see bad top lines on the horses.
Southern Star Farm there in Mocksville is now under investigation. This comes after the Sheriff's Department says that they've been receiving complaints about the horses' conditions for a long time now. After recent tips, they completed a welfare check. The department says that they did find horses there on the property who were malnourished and improperly cared for. One neighbor in the area describes what she saw.
I saw multiple malnourished horses. I saw days that outdoor water buckets were empty, multiple horses with no shade, no shelter in these 90-degree days.
Deputies say that 2 people have since been charged with animal abuse. Amanda Lowe is now facing 12 counts of felony animal abuse, while Brandon Hedrick is being charged with 11. The U.S. Army is now expressing concern over the well-being of Travis King. He's the American soldier who bolted across the demilitarized zone 3 days ago. Matt Bradley has much more on that situation, while North Korea still remains silent.
Well, it's now been 3 days since Private Travis King darted across the border between here and South Korea and North Korea, one of the most isolated countries in the entire world. This shocked the world, shocked the U.S. government, and sent diplomatic shockwaves throughout the world. And now we've been hearing from the U.S. government that they're launching a sprawling investigation involving various government agencies, trying to find out where Private King is and what his status is. Now, this is going to involve a very difficult task of trying to reach the North Korean government. Now, there are several avenues in which the U.S. is doing this. They can reach out through the United Nations, through Swedish diplomats in the Swedish embassy in Pyongyang, and through here in South Korea, where they have some connections with the North Korean government. But the fact is, now we're going into day 4 of this diplomatic crisis, and there is still no telling where Private King is. And we haven't heard anybody saying that the North Koreans have actually responded to any of the entreaties that have been issued by the U.S. government. So far, all efforts to find Private King have been frustrated. This is also frustrated by the fact that Private King's motives are entirely unclear. No one knows exactly why he darted across the border, what his intentions were. The fact is, until we know a little bit more, until we get some sort of response from Pyongyang, we're not going to have any idea what the fate of this young soldier is in the coming days or weeks. Matt Bradley, NBC News, Seoul.
Happening now, a traffic shift is currently underway there on Interstate 74 as part of the Winston-Salem Northern Beltway project. So this is in the eastbound lanes between Ridgewood and Union Crossroads. We've been told that the traffic shift is needed so that a new bridge and lanes can connect the Beltway to I-74. The shift will be expected to be in place by the end of the day. Now taking a live look outside there in Guilford County, some road work is planned for this weekend as well on the interstate starting tonight at 9. The eastbound lanes and ramps will be closed from the I-73 split to I-85. This is exits 212 through exit 227. Crews there will be repaving that section of the interstate. As a detour, drivers will use I-73 and I-85 to re-access I-40. We have been told, though, that this work should be done by Monday at 6 a.m. For those overnight drivers, though, part of I-40 West will be closing on Sunday morning. This is happening between exit 135 for Rock Creek Dairy Road and exit 132 for Mount Hope Church Road. Crews there will be repairing some broken pavement. A detour will be posted there.